Well, hello guys, welcome back. I think Odin just actually died, and I think Loki's like, well, we always knew it would happen. Odin was pushing and pushing and pushing for heathenry, and I'm gonna tell you this. I kept trying to film this, and I don't want to insult people or hurt anyone. I believe in the gods. I do, but I also believe religion is bullshit. So that's how far we got. I said, I'm sorry, I just think religion is bullshit. You can still be spiritual. You can still have a relationship with the gods and look at every single religion on earth and go, no, no. And that doesn't mean I don't think those religions work for people that are in them and truly happy. But the one thing that makes me feel kind of a smidgen of compassion is seeing people that are clearly miserable in their belief system, but they're doing it because they've been brainwashed into thinking that is the one true way to be. We've all known depressed Christians. We've all known people that were Wiccan and they were lacking something. We've all seen people that are in heathenry or whatever they're in that you can tell they don't belong there because they really don't believe it and they're just trying to play a role and they hope that eventually it catches. And I just looked at him today and I said, you know what? Religion is bullshit. And he actually went away. And Lucky's just been like, well, okay, so and it's the thing. Like I say Lokean, I don't see Lokean as a religion. I see it as a spiritual journey with Loki at my side, working together. I was fine to have the Norse gods here. I was fine to even not entirely fine, but for now, because it's not a major fight right now, to have a Nordic only household. Odin had to keep pushing, had to keep pushing, had to keep pushing. And I just had to finally look at him and go, religion is bullshit, man. And then he lost. And I don't know if he was pushing so that I would admit that to myself. But, it's kind of one of those things that I did get some insight from this journey. We should not be going to other people to validate who we are. If you find yourself looking up online, can I be a Wiccan and can I be a heathen and can I be a Christian and stop. Just stop. Do you feel like a Christian? Fine, you're a Christian. Do you feel like a heathen? Fine, you're a heathen. Just filling in all the boxes is kind of meaningless anyhow. There wasn't any concept in the lore that if you did something you went to super Nordic afterlife. There was a concept of if you died a normal death, you went to hell. If you were really, really, truly horrible person, you went to the supermax part of hell. If you died for other reasons, you might end up with Freya, or you might end up with Freyr, or you might end up with Odin. And Odin had more than one hall, so who knows who they scooped out. We don't know anything about whether or not people ended up with Loki. But, one of the things is once you start to make something into a religion, it starts to ossify. You can never then go back. You have to only double down. That's the problem with religion. You can only double down. You can never go back. The church couldn't come out today and say, hell is bullshit. We just want your money. They couldn't do that because there would be no church after. They could not tell you the truth. They could not come out and say, well, we made up hell centuries after Christianity started, and hell is bullshit. We just want your money. And it's kind of funny how we say you're going to hell, but our priests are fine, huh? And they're never going to say that. Just like these people that are reconstructing heathenry are never going to admit that a lot of this is fill in the blanks bullshit. It's nowhere in the lore. They had to make it up, and they're more armchair academics than they are actual people practicing with the gods. A few people I did read that were practicing with the gods consider themselves mystics, and I'm like, wow, heathens and Christians have a huge gap on how they understand that word. In the Christian Catholic concept, a mystic is someone that goes above and beyond the normal relationship of praying every day, praying at meals, going to church every Sunday, more during Holy Week or something, above and beyond. They are devoted to Christ, God, Holy Spirit, whatever. They're completely entwined with them. That is a mystic. That is the Christian Catholic definition of mystic. The heathen definition of mystic seems to be anyone that has any remote dealing with the gods. You're damn near a mystic if you talk to Odin more than once a year, or you even believe you can communicate with him. And I think it's partly because there were a lot of toxic people in the heathen community. Galena did a lot of horrible things in the community. May she forever be where she deserves. But she did a lot of bad things. I only met Raven once, and Raven seemed to have a better head on their shoulders than Galena ever will. And it's a thing of when people do that, then they shake up the community. And then, I didn't realize coming in Heathenry that she was like the absolutely worst person to read any of the books of. And I think I recommended her books once on the channel. And, that was before she started to get more weirder and weirder in her writings. And then she accused Loki of something that, yeah, that shows you where her mindset is. And then she escaped behind the Patreon paywall and took down all of her stuff because a lot of Lokeans wanted to fucking burn her, and a lot of Odin's people too. Because, she took what most people would see as heathenry, a relationship with the gods. I think there are more people, they're just silent, that see heathenry, some relationship with the gods. And they don't think you have to be dogmatic about beliefs. They're not the pissy, whiny heathens on Heathen Reddit. I'm sorry, but a lot of those people, some are good, some I enjoy reading their posts, and some are just pissy and whiny and asking for dogma. And I'm like, bitch, please, let me tell you about dogma. And I go, ooh, back here. And, she took what would be a relationship with the gods and she turned it into S&M suffering, and she turned Odin into this dangerous, odious creature that, it's still reverberating in heathenry. There are plenty of women who are terrified of the old man because they think he's some kind of bad touch serial rapist crazy dude. And they believe this because of what Galena said and what most people repeat, because there are a lot of people in every spirituality, religion, what have you, that don't want to put their wills on the ground. They're just happy to have them all near and to, read the books and, okay, the gods exist, but they don't need to work with them. So then, since they don't have any experience, they read stuff like that and they take it as gospel, and that's the problem. And so I think there's still going to be a backlash forever and a day against UPG and against everything else in heathenry. And I said, if I were a heathen, I'd be heathen in name only, because I think religion is bullshit. I don't believe in Orlog. I don't, people can't even agree what the fucking royal tree is. Is it an ash? Is it a yew? People will scream back and forth like the Allfather is going to burn us somewhere if we get this one wrong. And I'm like, you've just taken Christianity and dressed it up in Nordic dressings is all you've done. Who the fuck cares if the tree even exists, let alone what it is? It's a cosmic tree. The goddamn tree isn't physically anywhere gonna beat you all to death with the lore. You're driving me fucking crazy. So, keep in mind, heathenry is just about as old as Wicca. That's it. It's not a long, unbroken tradition, no matter what people claim. And there right now, some people are trying to make something that's sensible, but way too many people just come off as funny evangelists. And I said, religionless bullshit. So Odin went away. Understandably, Odin went away. That's why I value people like Dr. Jackson Crawford, that a lot of heathens hate his guts, because, he takes the lore and he pulls it apart and he says, look, the Havamal wasn't written all at once. It's said to be the inspired, the writings of the old one or the sayings of the old one, the high one, the old man, whatever, old one-eyed, whatever. But it's not. It wasn't all written at once. It wasn't. Odin didn't write all this stuff down and just come hand it to some poor random heathen. It wasn't even written in the runes. It was written in Roman. So you can just go watch one of his videos or get one of his books at a library or something. You can do this research online for free. And you should know that going into something. One of the problems with just blindly believing stuff like we did in Christianity is then as you see that stuff pulled apart, that's what I think leads most people to go, all religion is bullshit, and, they lose belief in not only the religion but the gods. And then they end up full on atheist. I still believe in the gods, but I think the religion part is bullshit because, you know, like the tale of Noah's Ark came from the Epic of Gilgamesh. There was no Noah. I'm sorry, but there wasn't. The teachings of Jesus were written down hundreds of years after he existed. If he existed, people will debate back and forth. And I told Odin it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. We have the Declaration 127 up, or rather, we have the Have 'em All 127 up on the channel. I put the gay and heathen video up for returning viewers, but I said, you know, it's not going to happen. I said, if I could call myself heathen, and then when people said, what do you mean by heathen? I could say, well, I think Orlog's bullshit, but, you know, and I don't really care if there's an actual real tree or not. But yes, I believe in the gods. Yes, I honor the gods in my own way. But other than that, fuck it all. It's, you know, religion is bullshit. I think I would get in a lot of trouble. But you guys let me know what you think. I think we should be honest. I don't think there's any good in replacing toxic Christianity with toxic heathenry or toxic Lokeanism or anything else. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Hunter's probably somewhere clutching his heart and going, where did I go wrong? I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.